I guess I should explain where I am today. I'm on a little on-location project up at Joe's parents', and they want me to put some fencing down one side, which is basically going to make the back garden child-proof and dog-proof for when we're visiting. And there's also a side gate to put up and some other kind of repairs to some gate fence posts. Pretty late starting, 'cause it's a good hour and a half or so to get up here. I've been to the timber merchants this morning and to the builders merchants to pick up all the posts, some other bits and bobs, and a load of postcrete to get us going. So I've got to try and excavate down here, get a new post in there, which will be the start of our run, which will basically go right through the middle of this and terminate up against the concrete post at the far end. So first things first, I'm going to get a string line run up here to see what we're dealing with. Right, I think we've got a fairly clear route. There's an old tree stump there, but we'll be either side of that, and then I can decide on whether we take that out. Next, I thought I might just go along and every centre for where I want the posts, I'm just going to put a little tab of masking tape, and then I can drop down from there and know that that's kind of be where my posts are. It's not critical, we're not putting panels between, just doing strands of wire, so they don't have to be bang on, which is quite fortunate, but I think this is quite a nice way of just kind of mapping out exactly where we're going to go. Good, so that's done, ready to dig. And what that does mean, I guess, because they're 1.8 now, it means in the future if they did want to put some trellis or fence panels here, at least it's going to be the right centres. So all the holes are dug, and as expected they were a bit tricky as I went along. A couple of roots, but also a few house bricks thrown in, so I've had to break them up. But we're down to the right level now, and I've just put the spirit level in to make sure that we are plumb with the side of the string line. So I'm going to try and temporarily kind of get them all in place, maybe stick some scrap wood over the top just to hold them as I'm working on my own, and then we'll get the postcrete in, have a bite to eat. Then I'm going to do the gates either side, and then maybe in 3 or 4 hours come back and just see if they're going to be anywhere near getting at least drilled ready for the wire to go through. So I've braced down on a diagonal with some scrap wood, and then just across the top there to get my spacing. Now I'll probably undo these as and when I get to each post, just to tweak it to get it right. You see there, I just tried to make sure that the post is right in the middle of the hole, so there's a good amount of concrete all the way around. Now some of these I've had to come back in and widen or whatever just to get the right spacing around and to make sure we're on our string line, so there's quite a big volume there to fill. Third of the way up with water, and then we stick in the dry mist. And I'm going to try and make sure I've got a good amount above the ground level, just so we don't get it rotting around the top of the concrete. So it looks like the rain's coming now, so I'm going to try and speed up a little bit. I was struggling to get a position for a gate post here. Right, it's the post that it closes onto. Simply because the patio slabs and the wall is only about 5-inch gap there, but I've managed to break it out. But there were no tools that I could use to dig out as such. The auger wouldn't fit in there. So in the end I used a SDS kind of chasing bit, and I've just manually scraped everything out, and I'm down deep enough for that now. So this effectively becomes our end post, so it's going to have quite a lot of tension on it being pulled by the wire. So I want to make sure I've got like I'm going to put down a 45-degree brace down into another hole I've dug here. So what I'm going to do is get it roughly 45 degrees like I have there, and then I'm just going to cut like a little notch, like a bird's mouth type notch in the vertical, and that'll hold it going the other way, and then we'll just pop a couple of screws in the top there. It turned out that if I left it square it was going to mean cutting out too much of the post, so by doing a bit of a point on the end there, we're not taking away more than half of the material. There we go, that's not too bad. Without a chisel at least. We need to tidy it up because the last thing we want is gaps there for water to get in. So I'm going to go and rummage in my father-in-law's garage, which is harder than it sounds, but we'll see what we can find and hopefully find a chisel and just tidy up that cut surface. Hey, that didn't take too long. Don't know how sharp it's going to be, but it's pretty tight, but I will, make sure that there's a seal any of that cut surfaces as well. I think we're good to go. So we'll get this last one in, concrete those in, and then I'll head over to the other side of the house where I've got to hang a gate and do some panelling. Okay, we're getting there. We've got about 45 minutes or an hour left of daylight. So I'm hoping that I can get all this wire strained in now. And we're going to put 3 wires in for now. If we need to, we can put another one in. First one's going to be at that string line height. So I'm going to go along now, drill some holes all the way through, because I want to thread them through the posts. No, I'm not, because my batteries are running out on the drill. We'll stick the post caps on now, and then we'll come back to that. Been beaten by the daylight, and I'm also going to hold off until I've got some better fixings for straightening the wire, get some proper heavy duty turnbuckles and we can tighten it all up. So that's it for this one. I'll bring you up next time. I'm up here and we'll get the job finished. So thanks for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.